and welcome back to my channel where we are all crime all black all the time.
Big shout out to Athalia Attorney for this content. In this video, Lat Attorney is breaking down the Fani Willis lawsuit from SA victim, who alleges Willis used her position to cover up the prosecution of her offender. A RICO charge is requested as relief for the victim. Here is at lead attorney and co-host breaking down this case.
And let me show you what we are going to talk about today. It is this particular case. Bam! Bam! We got Misha Main, a plaintiff in the Superior Court of Fulton County versus against en contra de Fulton County Ethics Board, Fulton County District Attorney's Office, Marvin Arrington, we'll get to that in a second, and the one and only Gorilla Grip, the one and only Fani Willis up in the house. Fani Willis, she in the damn thing again, but now she's getting sued. Now the tables have turned. Now she's on the opposite side of RICO. So we are going to get into it, but Lord knows I cannot do this by myself. You know, we got the one and only in the house, my number one and always co-host, AV to the 7th power.
Hi, I haven't seen you in so long. How are y'all doing?
Man, we are hanging in here missing you. You know, I was on my OG stuff. I got to talk to the men sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want you to take shots.
God, that's rough.
You know, keep you safe. But whenever it comes to all this legal BS, you are the only person that I turn to help me out with this. Let's take a look at what we got. Again, Fani is being sued for the RICO. Let's take a look. It says Misha Maynor. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Maynor?
Misha.
How do you say it?
Misha.
Misha, is it Maynor?
Yeah, Maynor. You got the last name right.
Misha Maynor versus Fulton County, Marvin Arrington, and Fani Willis. Says comes now. Misha, plaintiff by and through counsel of record to redress deprivations by defendants under color of state law, certain rights secured, shall allow U.S. No, they going under 1983. This lets you hold on now. This lets you know they bringing it real. All right, 1983. You usually see this more often when first of all, it's a federal statute. And it is when someone suffers, extreme abuse from the government. And you see it so much with these police beatings. So I did not know they were going to pull 1983,
Yeah. Misha's a lawmaker here in Georgia, and she went to the Department of Justice on this case.
Yeah, so she's got power herself. She's not just some regular person, right? And so she's going to try to throw her weight around, but she's like, y'all are abusing me. So I need to let the court know about it. Jurisdiction and venue. This is terrible right here. I would just tell you, none of this shit is lined up. And it's a small thing, but it really does kind of throw you off, the fact that the formatting is so bad, but that's okay. What does it say? Misha resides in the state of Georgia. Says defendant Fulton County, Georgia. Okay, so this is just jurisdictional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll skip through all of that. Okay, we'll start here. Defendant Fulton County's Ethics Board is a board created pursuant to, we're going to skip all this. This is boring. But you want to notice that Marvin Arrington, Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington, and really to be precise, this needs to say junior, because Marvin Arrington Sr. is a very powerful person here in the state of Georgia, extremely powerful. He passed away last year. So this is his son, who's on the Fulton County Board of Commissioners. Marvin Arrington Sr. was on the board for, Jesus, probably like 2 decades, over 2 decades. He was on the board forever. He was on the board when the board wasn't even the board.
He was a judge, right?
Yeah, he was on the board and then he became a judge. He was appointed by Roy Barnes back in 2002, way back in the day. So he was a judge, Superior Court judge down here in Fulton County, right down the street for probably 2 decades as well. So when you see Marvin Arrington, just to be precise, this is his son. This is not him. Although, because it's like LeBron James, man. If LeBron James has a son, he's going to be kind of powerful, right? He's going to get some preferential treatment. A lot of people are saying LeBron James' son can't play basketball. He just petitioned to enter the draft. Everybody was like, you're going to enter the draft? You can't really play. But, and the Lakers are going to pick him up. Why are the Lakers who plays for the Lakers, right? So it's interesting. At any rate, so he is sued in this along with Fani Willis. And we know who Fani Willis is. All right. So let's kind of get into it. Statement of the facts. Underlying criminal case in which plaintiff Misha Maynor is the victim. AV, you want to pick this up right here at number 9?
Yeah. It says Misha is a state representative of the Georgia House of Representatives. In 2019, Misha ran a campaign for the elected seat she now holds. In January of 2019, Misha hired Mr. Corwin Monson as a campaign volunteer.
Okay, so let's stop right there. So let's just get it all clear, guys. Misha is on our board, not our board. She's in our house. She's in the state representatives for the House, the Georgia House of Representatives. So she's a legislator. Mm-hmm. She's not like one of us. She's got some political power. She's got some political will. She is an elected official. So she's not a commoner. So when she brings this, honestly, it's a little bit more powerful than a regular person. All right. You want to pick it up at 12?
Yes. So Misha, prior to working for Misha's campaign together, plaintiff Misha and Monson were associates for several years and had many friends in common. And let me just pause on 12, because when we talk about Monson, defendant Monson is Misha's stalker.
She's a stalker. Okay.
The plot thickens. We're going to talk all about the stalker.
The plot thickens. All right. Well, let's go. Let's see what we got here.
Okay. Jumping back in. Monson, who is the stalker, assured Misha that he can help get her elected to her desired position. However, in February, just a month later, Misha was forced to terminate Monson from his volunteer position after witnessing his unruly, belligerent behavior.
Okay, so they had known each other for a long time. They had many friends in common. And then Monson was saying, hey, man, I can help you get elected to this state position. So she said yes, apparently, but then she had to fire him because he's acting a little crazy, apparently. All right, let's go. Number 15.
Yeah. So stalker Monson began to stalk Misha after she fired him. Specifically, Monson would show up uninvited.
Parentheses.
Monson would show up at campaign events. He joined Misha's church, and he would even sit outside of her home.
All right, let's stop right there. You showing up at the campaign events is fine. You joining a church, that's fine. But if you're a man and, this lady pull up and you sitting on her porch, is that okay? Can you sit on a woman's porch? If she's really fine, if she really just do it for you. And she pull up from Publix and then here you come hopping off the porch. I can help you with those groceries, ma'am. Is that scary to a woman? To the man, you're being nice. I'm here. I can help take the groceries in. Unlock the door. Let me go in. Oh, this is your house. Is that scary to a woman? To a man, we're just being helpful. So, you can kind of see how it can, maybe the wires were crossed. Maybe he had good intentions. I don't know. The jury's still out. All right. So he would sit outside of her house. Okay. Number 17.
Oh, yeah, it gets worse. So Monson would also call Misha from several different phone numbers and left her several voicemails. Monson later turned those voicemails into a song.
All right. I was with you, Monson. I was with you, Monson. I was trying, man. You were just helping her with the groceries. You turning voicemails into a song? Who remembers Shy? Who remembers Jodeci? Who remembers 112? Cupid. Oh, you're making songs. We don't really do this anymore, Monson. We did this in the 90s. We don't do this in the 2020s, 22s, 24s. This is not what we do. So if you were in the 90s, I would have let this go in the 90s. Everybody was making songs in the 90s. When your girl would give you that little CD and you put the CD in, okay, what song she chose for me? You done written in the damn Sharpie with this is a slow remix. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was doing that in the 90s.
The world before iPods and iTunes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And even in before that, you make your girl a tape.
A cassette.
You remember when you take the pencil and rewind that bitch back? AV don't know nothing about this. She's a child. AV is a child. She don't know nothing about taking the pencil and rewinding the damn tape in the cassette. Oh my God. Who remembers making cassettes and CDs for your girls? So Monson was on his 1999 shit. And he was turning voicemails into songs. All right, Monson laid it on thick. Okay, number 18.
Yeah, Monson admitted that he was in love with Misha. He even showed up at her home once and proposed to her in front of her minor children.
Oh, shit, what? You proposing in front of the kids? These my kids, Misha. It's stepdaddy season. Oh my God.
This whole case is wild. Wait till we get deeper into it. It is so juicy.
How do you explain that to your kids? Now, to be fair, just listen to this. This reminded me of a stream that I did last year that this white woman came up. It could have been 2 years ago, to be honest, but I remember this specifically. She was talking about how she had divorced her husband and she didn't love him anymore or anything like that. Then she come to say that she never loved him. And they had been married for 5-10 years or something. And so I said, well, shit, if you never loved him, why did you accept his proposal? What did she say? She said the dude proposed to her in front of her kid. And she felt like she didn't know. So this might be a play.
She felt obligated to say yes.
Feel obligated because the kid right there, y'all have been friends for years. This might be a trap. Now, I didn't know about this trap, but just seeing this now and it's jogging my mind. That white lady said the same thing happened to her and she married the dude. I think she was married for I want to say 10 years.
Wow.
So Monson was like, I'll run that play, get my foot in the door, and I can make it last for longer than 10. How many times can you have sex with a woman in 10 years? He was like, I'm about to break this thing wide open. I'm about to break it wide open. So guys, if you want some expensive sex, propose to the woman in front of your future stepchildren.
Oh my God.
All right, I'll take you all out to Chuck E. Cheese. So this is deep right here. Let me just talk about rewinding the tape. Let me stop the tape for a second. Shout out our man, High Value Man on Deck. Thank you so much. God. Oh my God. Would a high value man propose to a woman to try to trap her in front of her kids? Is that something that a high value man would have to do? Now, to be fair, a high value man could back in the 90s make that damn tape. The high value man could absolutely make a song. So I see some commonalities, but it's starting to seem like this brother Monson is deviating from the high value man on deck play. I wonder if high value man ever made a damn CD.
How many tapes you got, HVM?
All right, let us keep it going here. So he is proposing in front of the kids. I'm drawing the line. I'm going to say, okay, this is not appropriate. You know, proposing in front of somebody, some man's other kids and shit, like, that's not good. Okay, but let's go. Number 19.
Although Misha and Monson had known each other for several years, they had never had a romantic relationship. In June of 2019, Monson was cited for criminal trespass after coming to Misha's home and refusing to leave her property.
Damn.
So this was probably 5 months after the election.
Okay.
In August, so 2 months later, Misha filed a temporary protective order against Monson. A judge granted Misha the protective order against Monson.
All right, so stop right there. It doesn't say, you can see this stuff escalating. Hired her in February, started showing up to her home, made her CDs. I really wish we would have the date of this when he admitted that he was in love with Misha and proposed to her. I really would have wished we had this date, because in June, he was cited for criminal trespass. So Misha's trying to be nice to the guy because he really should have been, he should have been arrested. You know, if you show up in somebody's home, you could actually be shot. You know what I'm saying? So she's trying to take it easy. June went by, July went by. It took her until August to file a TPO. Now, a TPO, guys, a temporary protective order in Georgia, it is the most powerful and at the same time, the weakest document that really exists in the state. If you are trying to get, and these are ex parte TPOs, which ex parte means you talking to the judge without the other side being present. And you just tell the judge what happened, and the judge says, yes, okay, he can't come around you anymore. And then the judge will set a date, 3-4 weeks later where he gets to tell his side. Now, why are these things so weak? These are weak because if a judge grants you a 12-month order, the judge is going to say, okay, here's your 12-month order, AV. The lead cannot come around you can't come within 500 yards. All right. Now that's what the piece of paper says. But what does that piece of paper have to do with me? If I want to get you, I'm going to get you. And ain't no damn piece of paper going to stop me. I have done so many of these TPOs for women over the years, and they all say the same thing when I win. They say, okay, you giving me the paper. What happens if he comes around? Is this paper going to stop him from coming around? Is this paper going to stop him from strangling me again? Is this paper going to stop him from killing me? No, it's not. But you paid me my money and we won. So good luck to you. I hope he doesn't come around. If he does, call me. Call the police first. But they pay you this money, you get them, you win. But all it is a sheet of paper. So it's so weak, it really stops nothing. But then again, it can be so strong. Suppose me and AV are married and she wants to divorce me, but I'm an upstanding guy. And so if she wants to divorce me, she's going to want to keep the house. She's going to want to kick me out of the house. But if she files a divorce in a temporary order, the judge might not order me out of the house. I'm not doing anything wrong. What will women do? Here in Georgia, they will not file the divorce right off. They will file a TPO first. And they will make up lies. But guess what? Because it's ex parte, they get to tell the judge lies without me being present. AV can talk to the judge without me being there. AV can say, okay, he did this and he did that and he did this. And AV come in with her glass and you take off the glass and start crying a little bit, right? Y'all, it's a wrap when the glasses come off. Look at her. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So what does the judge do? The judge, without hearing my side, kicks me out of the goddamn house. Now I can't come back to the house. But even though I can't come back to the house, the judge says, I got to keep paying the mortgage. Even though the judge says I can't come back to the house, I got to pay all the utilities. Even though I can't come back to the house, I got to pay her car. So I'm sleeping in the Motel 6 or I'm down in my cousin's basement paying for all this stuff while she gets to stay in the house. And hope, man, if we got kids, I'm paying child support.
And you can't come close to the kids or the mom.
Do you see how strong this is? It gets me kicked out. And now when we go, then once she gets that piece of paper kicking me out of the house, then she files the divorce. After she files the divorce, she has a TPO. Well, guess what? By the time the TPO comes, you wrap them both together. The judge says, where are you at, lead? Oh, I'm in the Motel 6. Why aren't you at home? Oh, well, because I got this TPO against me. You got a TPO against you? Yeah. AV, do you want him in the house? No, I don't want him in the house. All right, you stay out of the house. You're already out anyways. You're already out of the house anyways. Now you stay out. Do you see how powerful that TPO is? She could not have gotten me out of the house if she would have filed the divorce first. But since she filed the TPO first, did the end around, ran the play, the judge kicked me out. And now when we go in for the divorce, the judge is like, well, you're already out. Don't even worry about it. You're already out.
So, Lee, just a quick question. So does that mean when you file the TPO first, the guy is kicked out of the house prior to... Oh.
You're kicked out of the house until the formal hearing, but that could be a month away. And by that time, you file the damn divorce, and now you just kind of run both of them in together. And so you couldn't get me out with the pure divorce, but you got me out with the TPO. So that's when you see, guys, TPOs can be so powerful and so weak at the same time. Women have been murdered having TPOs in their favor. It's a piece of paper. I'm 6'3". What is your little fucking TPO gonna do against me? It's not gonna do anything, right? So it can be so weak, and yet it can destroy men's lives at the same time. All right. Big shout out to high value man on deck again. You know, this is a thing where a high value man would never have to worry about TPOs in the sense of, oh, you know, I'm trying to murder you, I'm trying to kill you. But a high value man will absolutely have to worry about getting false TPOs against him. This is something that a man cannot avoid. All right, so let's take a look here. So she applied for the TPO in August. The judge, and most of the time these damn things are rubber stamped. So she gets the rubber stamp in August. She gets the TPO against Monson. All right. Now, 22. You want to pick it up from here?
Yeah. In September of 2019, in September of 2020, so this is a year gap, Monson was arrested for violating the TPO. So we see he did it twice.
Now let's stop right here. In Georgia, these TPOs are issued for a year. They're issued for 12 months. So you got to get them renewed. Now, when you get a TPO against you, judges don't mind giving the lead attorney a TPO against me. I mean, against some. If a woman files for a TPO against me, judges don't mind giving them to me. They're giving them to her. Am I ready? Okay. If a woman files for a TPO against me, the judge doesn't mind granting her the TPO. Why? Because it's not like I'm going to jail. The judge is just going to say, I can't be within 500 yards. So the judge is like, it doesn't really hurt you, lead. You know, you just can't be within 500 yards. So if you're in Publix and you see her in Publix, you have to leave. Well, I'm like, well, what if I was in here in Publix first and she walks in? If she walks in and you're in, fine. You still have to leave. Like, she doesn't have anything to do. She can just follow me around the city, and I've got to keep moving so that I'm not in 500 yards of her. But why do judges give away TPO so freely? Does anybody know? I'm going to ask the chat. Let me just ask you guys, why do you think it is that these judges just rubber stamp TPOs? And they do it all over Georgia, even though these TPOs are so powerful. They're so powerful, get you kicked out and this and that. Judges just hand them out like hotcakes. Does anybody know why I'm gonna give it to th2. I would have proposed it differently, but yeah, I can't read the name. AOL says for protection of people. This is not it. This is not it. I'm gonna give it to th2. It's liability. It's covering your ass. What happens if AV comes in and she's crying, not a mark on her, and says, "Oh, well, the lead is threatening me. Do you have a recording? No. Do you have a police report? No. Do you have any evidence? No, but I'm sitting here crying. He's threatening me that he's going to kill me." And the judge is like, "Well, you don't have any evidence. I'm not going to give it to you." 3 days later, AV's dead. Guess who did it? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Can this judge ever show his fucking face again? And guys, this has happened. You don't think when the judge is up for re-election, this isn't the first thing that his opponent is going to use to get him kicked off the fucking bench. Your whole career can be ruined. So I'm going to give it to th2, liability. It's so easy. Now, the judge is not doing it for justice. The judge is not doing it for protection because, let's be honest, I could kill her with the TPO anyways. The TPO ain't stopping me. This girl's 5'3", I'm 6'3". She's what, 122? I'm fucking 250, 260. It's not protecting her. But it's covering the judge's ass so that if something happens, the judge says, "Well, I issued the TPO. I issued the TPO." So they hand these TPOs out like hotcakes. But the thing is, that's on the front end. On the back end, if I do get arrested for violating the TPO, that's a big issue. That's an aggravated felony right there. That's aggravated. It can be aggravated stalking. It's a felony in Georgia, and it's for real. So this says that, he got arrested in September 2019, aggravated stalking all day. That's a felony right there. I mean, that might be punishable by 10, 20 years.
Yeah, and we should all remember that in this conversation because it will come up later.
That's crazy. And so again, so he got arrested not once, but he got arrested twice again. Mm-hmm. And since it's in 2 different years, she must have extended it, which the judge obviously allowed her to do because he had already been arrested at once. So he's been arrested twice for violating the TPO. If you're arrested twice for violating TPO, that's goddamn jail time for real. That's prison time. That's not even jail time. So this dude is going to prison over this lady. Mm-hmm. When you got a man, and we don't talk about this a lot on, our side of the fence, guys, but this is something that needs to be said. It can be very, very dangerous in our society if you're a woman. And because we're men, we take it for granted. But women don't have the luxury of taking that for granted. And when you got a guy on you like this, it's so hard to get him off. It is so hard to get him off. Everybody got stalkers, especially if you're on social media. People say shit to you. But when you got people showing up on your porch, proposing to you in front of your kids, as a woman,
And she's a lawmaker. So it's interesting to see how the county handles this.
Yeah. But honestly, she could be any profession. I'm going down to the base. It's like if you're a child, if you get turned on by 5-year-olds as a man, can we be honest? There's nothing that counseling is going to do. There's nothing that jail is going to do. You can get a 15-year sentence. Year 16, you're back down there at the nursery. And some men can just lock on to a woman. I don't know what this lady's supposed to do. She's getting TPO after TPO, and the dude is getting arrested for violating him. At any rate, I've just represented so many of these, and I see the frustration when we win the case. And when I say win, I mean the judge is like, "Here, thank you for coming." I mean, it's not the OJ trial or anything. You just, you're going to get it anyways. And she, you hand her this fucking It's essentially a napkin. And she's like, well, is this supposed to stop me from getting choked out? Is this, the guy said he was going to stab me. Is this going to stop the stabbing? You can wipe your neck up. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to, I don't know what you're supposed to do. So let's put some respect on Misha's situation here. This is a serious situation. She's got a dog on her. And he does not want to let go, even though he's been arrested multiple times. All right. Let's keep it going. So number 23.
Yeah. In September of 2020, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, in parentheses, the DA's office or the District Attorney's Office, indicted Monson for aggravated stalking for violating Misha's TPO. In January of 2021, a few months later, the DA's office indicted Monson for a second aggravated assault charge, of which Misha was the victim. For the two cases, Monson was facing up to 20 years in prison.
Damn. See, this is what I'm telling you, man. These pieces of paper are not going to do nothing for someone getting at you the first time. If I get a TPO issued against me and I can kill that chick before I get arrested, cool. I got her. But if they start arresting me for this, the arrests are serious. They're serious. It's not like a little DUI or something like that. So this is a real thing. So he's facing up to 20 years. Okay. All right. Number 24.
Upon information and belief, Monson is a close friend and associate of defendant Commissioner Arrington.
All right. So let's stop right here. Again, we talked about Marvin Arrington. Now, this is Marvin Arrington Jr. This is the son of the behemoth Marvin Arrington Sr., who was a Fulton County Superior Court judge for decades, just like Glanville in the Young Thug case, just like McAfee in the Fani Willis case. Marvin Arrington was a Superior Court judge, but like McAfee's down here. Yeah. Judge Glanville's like kind of right here. Marvin Arrington was like top dog. I really shouldn't put Glanville down here because I mean he is kind of down here, but he's the chief judge. But compared to the legend of Arrington, shit, Arrington was number one for years. So to be his son and be an attorney and sit on the city council, which Arrington was the president for so many years, Arrington has power. So I want to show you guys this. When it says Monson was a close friend of Arrington, Marvin has a high-powered friend. The stalker has a high-powered friend.
That's important.
And, you know, when you hire someone who's high-powered, you know, you're getting more than just someone who can quote a statute. Some of that power is what you're buying. And I've seen it over and over and over again. The quality, you can be a good lawyer. I would rather not hire a great attorney and hire a good attorney with a lot of power. Because that good attorney with a lot of power can make things happen that a great attorney cannot. And at the end of the day, the good attorney with the power ends up being higher than a great attorney, ends up being a greater attorney based on the results that he can get. A good attorney can get you 5 years to serve. A great attorney can maybe get you probation. An attorney with power might get the whole case dismissed for reasons that it shouldn't be. So the power that Arrington has, or that he's capable of wielding, a lot of that flows through his father, because his father was just such a huge guy down here in Atlanta. All right, you're gonna pick it up right here?
Yeah, in October of 2020, Monson hired Commissioner Arrington as his defense attorney in the September 2020 aggravated stalking case.
It's pretty smart. Pretty smart.
All
Okay.
right, here we go, guys. I hope you're strapped in. Arrington's influence. An assistant district attorney on Monson's case informed Maynor of the influence of the Commissioner Arrington that he wielded in the DA's office.
All right, so right here.
Yeah.
So when ADA, so y'all know how Fani Willis, we know Fani Willis. Fani Willis is the DA, but she doesn't do the work. Who does the work? The assistants. So we call them ADAs, the assistant district attorneys. They're the ones who are actually in the trials, doing the trials. DAs really aren't doing trials. You know, a DA might do a trial once a year, if that, for like the biggest case. But usually the underlings are the ones actually doing the day-to-day hearings in the trial. So an ADA is an underling. It says here an underling on Monson's case, the stalker, informed Maynor of the influence. Oh, okay. Of the influence that Arrington wielded in the district attorney. So when you're a victim in the district attorney's office, usually they have some type of victim advocate. And the victim advocate is going to act as a liaison between you and the office. So if you are, let's say, a victim of rape or something like that, they're going to assign you a victim advocate and say, well, what happened? What do you want to happen? What type of sentence would you like? You know, tell me your feelings on this. And that advocate will relay that information to the district attorney that's handling the case or whatever. Here, the ADA is like, listen, Misha, we got a problem. Misha's like, what's the problem? Well, your boy, he went and he hired Arrington. And all you need to say is the name. If you would have said Smith, you'd be like Smith who, or, you know, Wade who, or Wade who. But when you say Arrington because of his father, it'd be like, you know, you're talking to Bronny, like, hey man, you know, this kid's pretty good. Who's his dad? LeBron. You don't need to say the James. LeBron? Oh, shit, you know, we need to take this kid whether he's good or not. So when the ADA, the underling, calls up Misha on the phone, and Misha's like, listen, Misha, I know this dude's been arrested once under the TPO, arrested twice under the TPO. I know he was showing up at your house. I know he proposed to you in front of your kids. The issue is he went and hired Arrington. Now, you know that it's not the senior, but the dude has a lot of power based on his father. This is interesting. And let me do this too. Let me just let me show you guys kind of who we are talking about here, just so that we're all on the same page.
Cool.
This is Marvin Arrington. And Marvin Arrington was always known for his bow ties. And so many years in Atlanta, such a prominent figure, well-respected figure. And it's hard in Atlanta to be well-respected because it's so easy to be corrupt. But this is our man. This is who we're talking about here. Now, this is the senior. This is the senior with the bow tie. This actually might be, this is
the son. That's the son. That's him.
This is the son. So even he's trying to do the bow ties like his father. He's riding the father's, I was about to say riding the father's coattails, but riding the father's bow ties, which he's allowed to do. It's his father. All right. And so this is Arrington and this is his father. I think this is his daughter who is also an attorney as well. And so this is our man right here. This is the father, the one who, it says Atlanta icon. Yes. Yes. He is absolutely an icon. So this is who we're talking about, and the man that wielded so much power down here in Atlanta. And again, he passed away. He passed away just last year. Let me put a little bit more respect on him. just do a quick, why does it keep doing that? Let's take a look at his Wikipedia. Marvin Arrington Sr., February, born in 41, died last year in July. Superior Court judge in Atlanta, Fulton County, politician. Served to the Atlanta Board of Aldermen in 69, which became the city council. Was president of the Atlanta City Council for 17 years. Do you know how much power this dude has? And president of the city council for 17 years, that's insane. Was one of the first 2 Black students to undertake full-time studies at the university, at the Emory University School of Law. So he basically helped desegregate Emory.
Wow.
He was one of 2 first Black students born in Grady. Yes, he is a Grady baby. He is a Grady baby. All right. He was a Kappa. So shout out to the noobs. Big shout out to KS and all the Kappas. And so this is our guy. He was appointed to Superior Court by Roy Barnes in 2002. And so, man, he was in the courthouse when oh man, I should do a stream on this. If anybody's in Atlanta, they remember when that dude he was in the elevator, he was being taken from court, and he overpowered one of the female guards in the elevator, took her gun, ran back into the courtroom, shot the judge in the fucking head. Chaos ensued, shot 2 more people, ran out of the courthouse. They locked down basically the whole city looking for this man. They finally got him, but I think he killed 3-4 people. He was a menace and a good shot. But apparently Marvin Arrington was in the courthouse when that happened.
Wow. So
that is Marvin Arrington. And I need to highlight this particularly, that he in 1989, him and Donald Hollowell formed Arrington and Hollowell. So they formed a law firm down here in Atlanta in 1989. Now, y'all don't know who Marvin Arrington is, because he's an icon, but he's a local icon. But I'll be honest, if you're Black or white, I was going to say if you're Black, you should know who Donald Hollowell is, but you don't know, but you should know. We all should know. But he is, it's funny that I said if you're Black, because this was actually a huge controversy. In 2008, Marvin Arrington cleared the courtroom of all white people, including lawyers. So he had a room full of defendants, He said, if you're white, stand up. And so everybody in the back stand up. He's like, no, attorneys too. Everybody fucking white stand up. And he had all the white people stand up. He said, get out. Get out of the courtroom. And he made all the white people leave the courtroom. So the only people in the courtroom were all these criminal defendants and the Black attorneys. And he chewed these Black people out. Well, he was on some Bill Cosby shit. He chewed these Black people out. Now, anytime you kick out a race of people, it's not good optics. It's not good. But you understand where he's coming from. He's like, man, I don't want white people to hear what I'm about to say to y'all niggas. Like, I don't want them to hear it. I don't want them to hear it. So that sometimes you really shouldn't involve race, but his heart was in the right place. He just didn't want to embarrass Black people in front of white people, but he chewed them out. But that was not, and he was older then. You know, when you're older, you just stop caring about shit. But so going back to Donald Hollowell, this is Donald Hollowell. In fact, let me do this. Let me show you, put a little bit of respect on Hollowell here, because he absolutely deserves it. This is Donald Hollowell. And Donald Hollowell was known as Martin Luther King's attorney. Donald Hollowell got Martin Luther King out of jail so many times, got Martin Luther King out of prison, out of Georgia State prison. He integrated the University of Georgia School of Law. Go Dogs. I am a beneficiary of the work that he did because he integrated high schools, he integrated universities, and he integrated my law school. And so I went to the University of Georgia undergrad and the University of Georgia School of Law. So I benefited personally from all the work that he did. And in a large sense, the civil rights movement benefited from his work as well, because he did so much. Here, he set up practicing law in Atlanta, fought racial segregation, sued the University of Georgia, changing the institution of with the racist admissions policies. Won in the Court of Appeals, won the release. He had to go up to the Court of Appeals to get Martin Luther King out of Georgia State Prison. He prevented the execution of a 15-year-old Black youth down in Georgia 5 days before it was scheduled. Represented Dr. King and hundreds of civil rights activists. In '66, President Johnson appointed Hollowell as the regional director of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC. So he also was a Kappa. Shout out to the Kappas. He did so much for the civil rights movement. So Donald Hollowell and Marvin Arrington Sr. joined forces, and in '86, they created a law firm called Arrington and Hollowell. Anybody want to guess the law firm, my first law firm job when I graduated? Anybody want to guess? I worked at Arrington and Hollowell.
Wow.
That was my first job. Now, by that time, Marvin, he was already retired. So they changed the name from Arrington and Hollowell to Hollowell, Foster and Gap. But it was an honor to meet Mr. Hollowell. Everybody called him because he's old, and just all the accomplishments that this man made. To meet these people, it's just like you're really meeting unsung celebrities. It's amazing. You got people like, I Show Speed or Aiden Ross or Sneeko, millions and millions of followers. And then you got a man like Mr. Donald Hollowell, and no one knows who the fuck he is. And he did more than all of these other people will in their lives combined. At any rate, I just wanted to let you guys know, because y'all aren't from Atlanta, y'all might not know who these people are, but they are just so important people. Now, to juxtapose that to the son. Oh, and I think I showed a picture before of Marvin Arrington Sr. with his son and his daughter. Let's take a look at Marvin Arrington Jr. Now, this is the guy in the lawsuit. This is the guy with the power from his daddy. This is the guy that the stalker went and hired. So the stalker went and hired this man who, sits on the board of, sits on the Atlanta council, and he has a lot of power. So let's take a look. It is this gentleman all the way on the right in the bow tie, of course. And let's take a listen and get a little flavor of.
We got a signed letter of intent.
So this is Arrington right here with the bow tie. This is the son, and this is the man that Misha Stalker went and hired.
We got a signed letter of intent. Shut up. Shut up. I'm talking.
Just a minute.
You're not talking to me.
Shut
You're
up.
not talking to me.
Shut up. I'm talking.
Make me.
I'm talking.
Make me.
I'm talking.
Make
It's
me.
my
Just a
time.
minute.
Make
It's
me.
my time.
Make me shut up.
It's my time.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Is that off?
Oh my God.
Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me? Welcome to Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta. Guys, how far we have fallen. How far we have fallen. I just regaled you with some of the pride and joy of Atlanta. Marvin Arrington Sr., right? Mr. Donald Hollowell, who integrated my schools. And now in 2024, this is what we get, right? All right, so this is the man who the stalker hired. Now, the stalker is very close friends with this man. Very close friends. But we're going to see, why he's included in the lawsuit, because he is included in the lawsuit too. So we're going to, give me 1 second. Let me pull up the complaint. We are going to check that out. So when AV says, hey guys, the district attorney, the ADA called up Misha and said, Misha, we got a problem. Misha's like, what's the problem? Your boy, your stalker, he went and hired Arrington. Are you serious? Yeah. Yeah, apparently they've been good friends for a long time. Well, what does this mean for my case? Can you read between the lines? It's not a great thing. Not a great thing. And so what does this say about justice? What does this say? Just like my man said, no one is above the law. Yeah. All right. So 27, you want to read that, AV?
Yes. Arrington used his influence to circumvent the office policies of the district attorney's office, including intimidating the ADAs by copying the district attorney on emails, negotiating plea deals directly with the district attorneys instead of the ADAs, and demanding meetings with the district attorney when the ADAs refused to bend to his will.
All right, so let's stop right there. They're saying Arrington used his influence to circumvent the policies. One of the things he was doing was copying the district attorney on emails, which is not common. Now, why is this intimidating? Because the district attorney is the damn boss of the ADAs. Mm-hmm. So guys, when I represent you on an aggravated assault, it's me and you. You're the ADA and I'm the criminal defense attorney. And I'm talking to you and we're really trying to work it out. But when we're emailing back and forth, I don't put your boss on it because your boss honestly doesn't even know about the case, if we're honest. I don't know how many ADAs there are in Atlanta, 15, 20, 35. The ADA doesn't know anything about any of those cases except the highest priority cases, maybe 5% of the cases in the whole office. So what is emailing her? What is sending Fani an email about this case going to do? She doesn't know about it. So the only reason you're doing it is to kind of loop Fani in. That really is that's not common. But I will say, he says Arrington would negotiate plea deals directly with the district attorney instead of the ADAs. This is way more common. Some of these ADAs, guys, they're stupid. Some of them are stupid. Some of them have the wrong mentality. Some of them are new. What you want is an ADA who's relaxed and been on the job for a long time. ADAs and solicitors, they basically have a book. All right, let's say it's a DUI, a fourth DUI or something like that. DUI might not be a best. Let's just say it's like a fourth DUI. And so if you've got a new ADA, you say, well, give me a plea for a fourth DUI. And, this is the plea. And you say, well, can't you do something? Can't we, change this to a reckless or something like that? Well, the book is the book. And you're like, dude, work with me. Well, I'm new here. I just got to follow the book. You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to the solicitor because you're not giving me any leeway. You're not negotiating with me. You're going by the book. What do I even need you here for if you're just going to read from the fucking book? So all attorneys, we have to do this sometimes. We have to go above the assistant solicitors. We have to go above the ADAs, which is why When the district attorneys are running for office, who do they come to for money? Us. And we'll write you your little $2,500 check. You better fucking remember who gave you $2,500. In 2024, I'm going to need a favor. I'm going to need a favor. Now, I can't come to you with every case, but I'm going to cash in my favor. And so if I've got an assistant district attorney who is not working with me, am I going to go over his head? Am I going to go over her head? Hell yeah. Can I do it every time? No. But if I've got a long-standing relationship with the DA, a long-standing relationship with the solicitor, absolutely.
Cut the line.
Yeah, they're elected officials, and they need us just like we need them. And they need our votes. They need our supports. We're on boards. We're doing this. We can help them campaign. You saw in the Fani Willis case with Nathan Wade, Ashley Merchant was wearing Nathan Wade shirts, had her kids in Nathan Wade shirts when he was running for Superior Court judge. He didn't get it, but she was trying. So you need us. So when I have a DUI and it's the first time and the dude blew a 0.8, but I need it down to a reckless, that sister district attorney, she's not going to help me out. Fine, fuck you. I'm going to talk to the solicitor. And I'm going to walk in there at 5:30 in the afternoon when she's packing up. Is this Lee? Yeah, tell Lee. All right, we in the office. Listen, man, how you doing? You doing all right? Yeah, I ain't talked to you in a minute. Yeah, last time you came over poker night, it was like a few months ago. Yeah, how's your husband? Good. How's everything with you? Yeah, you still fucking that chicken head? Yeah, man, I can't get off my nose. Listen, I need a favor though. All right, what you got? Right? Now I'm doing my work. Now I'm negotiating. I'm having a conversation that I cannot have with this damn assistant solicitor. She just got here 3 weeks ago. She has no discretion to help me. I need help. So when they say, oh, well, Arrington used his influence to circumvent policies by directly negotiating plea deals with the district attorneys, that happens. And that's what you want. If I'm accused of something, I don't want you necessarily working with a bad ADA. If the ADA is good, work with him. If the ADA starts putting up a bunch of bullshit, go over this head. So I don't have a problem with this at all. And the last thing, they're saying that Arrington Jr. used his influence demanding meetings with the ADA when demanding meetings with Fani. Let's put a name on it. Demanding meetings with Fani when her ADAs wouldn't bend to his will. Fuck yeah. I don't have a problem with this at all. Go over these stupid people's heads. You can't work with some of these people. They're not going to negotiate with you in good faith. They're going to give you plea deals that are fucking terrible. You know, why are you giving me 8 years when I should get 2 years? Well, there was this goddamn ADA, man. She had a hard on for animals. And if you were accused of anything, any type of cruelty to animals, you would always get the max. And you just can't work with somebody who's going to put their personal beliefs into their job like that. If you slap a woman, well, that's fine. You slapped a dog, not a German Shepherd, giving you the max. Going over your head. So kind of what they're saying right here, guys, this particular paragraph, I just wanted to stop on a little bit to let you know this isn't so bad what this is kind of good, at least in my view. All right, let's keep it going. 28.
Yeah. So before we get into the F-bombs.
Hold up right quick. Let me change it so that we can see my little pause. My little
the little pointer.
Yeah. All right. So 28 right here.
Fulton County residents hire Arrington as a defense attorney because of the power he is able to yield in the district attorney's office.
Yes.
As Fulton County Commissioner, Defendant Commissioner Arrington is responsible for managing, settling, and releasing the budget for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office.
All right, stop the goddamn press right here. Stop the press. I didn't even, this is ridiculous. The fact that this is allowed to happen is, it's kind of outrageous. Guys, because there's power and then there's power. If you hire me for your DUI, I can be like, okay, well, you know, I practiced here a long time. I got relationships with these people. Give me $5,000. And what I'm going to try to do is get it down to a reckless so that you don't have a DUI on your record. You don't have to go to jail. You know, we don't have to worry about, you know, your license or anything like that. Especially if you're trying to be a CDL, these damn DUIs can put a stop to all that. So, you know, some people get a DUI, I get a DUI tonight. It doesn't really matter to me. But, you know, if you're trying to have a business in trucking or something like that, it's your livelihood at stake. I say, give me a DUI, give me 5,000. And I'm gonna go in and talk to the solicitor. Fine, you give me 5,000. I talked to the assistant solicitor. She's not trying to budge. What did he blow? You know, 0.7, 0.8. If he would have blew a 0.2, I would have knocked it down. But I can't do a 0.7. I can't do a 0.7. I can do a 0.2. You can't do it? No, I can't. All right. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to the solicitor. But now when I talk to her, what do I have to do? Can I go in there and be like, this is what I need. I need a fucking reduction. Give me a reduction. He only blew a 0.7. Like, she can be like, nigga, if you don't get out of here, I got to be nice. And, oh, how's your family? How's your daughter? Did she get into Georgia? Did she get into UGA? She got into Georgia. Oh my God, that's great. I haven't seen her in a while. You know, how's that thing you're doing on the porch? You were doing the remodeling. You see what I'm doing? I'm kind of
building rapport. Yeah,
on a personal level. And that's level 2. But there's a level 1. I didn't even know this level 1 existed until I just read this shit. Level 1 is I walk into the solicitor. I'm like, hey, I need a 0.7. And by the way, we have a meeting next week. Are you coming? A meeting for what? Oh, a meeting at the down at the city office, the city commission. We're talking about setting your budget. You were asking for an additional $750,000. Do you remember that? Do you remember that request you put in, the additional $750,000? We're having a meeting. And when I say we, I mean me. And I like to personally invite you. You do such good work around here. You know, all the staff that you got, the equipment. Now I see your computers are a little old, but we can get you some better computers. Do you need about 4 more employees? I'm looking at the caseload. A lot of y'all people are overworked. You could do a lot with $750,000. So, you know, I want to make sure that goes through. I'm going to make sure that goes through. Oh, and my little 0.7 reduction, we're going to do that, right? Do y'all see the difference between level 1 and level 2? Level 2, she's sitting there deciding, oh, I know you're trying to butter me up. Level 1, she
doesn't have a choice.
She ain't really smiling like that. She want that $750,000. So, man, this is bad. Like, this really shouldn't even be occurring, to be honest. I mean,
it's going to be worse. It's going to get so much worse.
This is kind of crazy. Okay, so as a Fulton County Commissioner, Arrington is responsible for managing, setting, and releasing the budget. Releasing the budget for the district attorney's office. So he's in charge of the funds. Now, y'all know me. If I had that type of power, if I had level 1 power, I would still use it as level 2 power. I would still be, oh, how'd that remodel on your porch go? How's your daughter doing? Did she go into Georgia? Did she get in? You know, I was really rooting for her. I wrote her that letter of recommendation. But do you think this man is going to be nice like that? Do you think this man is going to be so soft with it?
Yeah, we can't hear him.
You can't hear him?
Nope.
I can hear him. Let me do this. Thank you for letting me know you can hear him. I wonder if
you swearing all in that hearing.
Can you hear him now?
We got a sign.
Yes.
Okay. Now that's how I would if I'm level 1, I would still walk in with level 2, a demeanor. But do you think this man is walking in there like that? Listen to how he speaks.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm talking.
Just a minute.
You're not talking to me.
Shut
You're
up.
not talking to me.
Shut up. I'm talking.
Make me.
I'm talking.
Make me.
I'm talking.
Make
It's
me.
my
Just a
time.
minute.
Make
It's
me.
my time.
Make me shut up.
It's my time.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Is that off?
I mean,
gotta-
Jesus, guys. Who saw the arm movements? Look at his arm. Look how he's just punching the air with it. Look at him.
Me shut up.
It's my time.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
It's my time. Yeah, who gonna check me, boo? Shut up. So when he walks into Fani and he's like, yeah, I'm representing this rando crazy guy, but he's my friend for years. But shit, you better play ball. Because you're coming here next week asking for $750,000, bitch. I mean, this is the this is what we're listening to. Right? This dude is not gonna, twist your arm in a nice way. My time. All right. So this is kind of what we're working with. This is the man who has been hired by the stalker to get him out of this jam. All right. So now let's take a look again at the complaint here. All right. So as a Fulton County Commissioner, Arrington Jr., not senior, Jr., is responsible for managing, setting, and releasing the budget. All right. You want to do number 30?
Okay, and thank you so much, Lead, for showing us his demeanor because he starts to swear in this paragraph. For example, on July 14th of 2021, Fani went before the Board of Commissioners, including Arrington, to request more money from Fulton County to hire more staff. During that meeting, Arrington passionately advocated for money to be released to the DA's office. At one point during the meeting, Arrington said, "Fuck the lowest millage rate. I don't give a darn about the lowest millage rate. Where's the money that the DA's office needs?"
Hello. So what do you see here? You see Arrington being an advocate for Willis. Arrington is an advocate for the district attorney's office. Arrington is fighting. Arrington says, I don't give a damn about the rules. I don't give a damn about the regulations. I don't give a damn about the rates. Where's the fucking money? It's my time. Where is the money? Where's the money? Now, Fani is in attendance. Everybody's in attendance, and I'm going off about getting the DA her money. Get Fani her money. That's on a Tuesday. When I walk into Fani's office on Friday about my DUI, am I going to get preferential treatment? Can Fani treat the lead and Arrington the same way? Was the lead in the gym, shooting them free throws? Was the lead in there fighting for my money? Does the lead have any power over my money, the releasing of my budget? Fani wanted more money. It's kind of funny. I call that wanted more money for more staff. Can lead get me more money for no staff? For more staff? Can lead get me 4 new employees? The lead cannot. So I get treated like the lead. Arrington can get all that. And not only can he get all that, he's actively and aggressively campaigning for it. So Arrington's going to get treatment that the lead just can't get. I just can't get it, but he can. But in this game, man, one hand washes the other, and you better not fucking forget it. So when Arrington is going over these DA's heads, these ADA heads, going straight to Fani, there's a reason. Why would Arrington even deal with the ADA? Why? You know, it's like you're beneath all of this. Me and Fani have a relationship that you know nothing about. You shut the fuck up. You work on other cases. Me and Fani are working on all my cases. Now, should it be like that? No. Why is it that Arrington's clients get preferential white glove treatment when you don't? You can spend $10,000, $30,000, $50,000 on your criminal case. You will never get white glove treatment. You will get stuck negotiating with these ADAs, not Arrington's clients. Arrington's clients get concierge service from the top dog. Is there justice in America? You know, I know this is not a good look for Atlanta, but I will tell you, this happens all over the state. This happens all over the South. This happens all over the nation. You guys don't know it. I've been in this shit for 20 years. You see it every day. Like, oh, justice is blind. Okay. Justice knows exactly who Arrington is. Justice knows where the money's coming from. So I don't want to disillusion you guys, but it's 1,000 types of things like this. How can we even have a justice system if the lead is a great attorney, but the lead can never get you white glove concierge service because the lead is not on the county commissioner's office, not on the board. He doesn't control the purse strings. So lead has to fight in the trenches. Whereas people fight, there are a few people who fight outside of the trenches, just extrajudicial. And this is what Misha's complaining about. Misha's like, yo, there is a dude who is on me. He's locked in on me. Let's not forget that there's a victim in this. It's this lady who shows up to her house and there's a dude sitting on the porch. It's this lady who comes home and the dude is proposing to her in front of her kids when they've never had any type of romantic relationship. It's a woman who has this dude taken to court and got a TPO on it. Got a TPO on him. He was arrested under the TPO and then arrested again. He's facing 20 years in prison. She says, I can't get him off me. Fani, you're the only one that can help me. He's facing 20 years. You're the only one on earth that can help me. Fani's like, I'm here to help. But Fani wants 4 new employees. And the stalker facing 20 years has hired Arrington. Now we're starting to see some conflict. Right? Who's going to win? Is it a real victim? I don't give a fuck. This lady is a victim. And not only is she a regular victim, we need to say she has a little power herself. She sits in our House of Representatives. She's a legislator. She's not just some, 2 Chains or whatever this lady's name was. She got clout herself, but she's got a dog on her. She's got a dog on her and she can't get him off. And the only person in the world that can get this dog off is Fani. But she just got a call from Fani's underling saying, uh-oh. What's wrong? Uh-oh. Why are you saying that? Uh-oh. What happened? Your boy, your stalker, he just went and hired Arrington. And Arrington just last week was screaming at the board, where is Fani's money? Fani's my boss. Uh-oh. Right? All right. So he was screaming at the meeting, I don't care about anything. Where is the money that Fani's office needs? Okay. 31. You want to pick it up from here?
Yes. As a Fulton County Commissioner, Defendant Commissioner Arrington is also responsible for managing, setting, and releasing the budget for Fulton County judges.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're going to be here forever. There's so much.
Jesus Christ. The damn Arrington has power over the judge's money. Guys, you guys do not have an accurate view of judges. You don't. And you can't. You guys just don't see what I see about judges. What do I see that you guys don't see? I see one thing. I see that these judges have a house. You guys never think about these judges' houses. Sometimes I'm inside these judges' houses. Bar parties, poker nights, just chilling. I see these judges' houses from the inside, seeing them from the outside. Guys, when you put your trash on the street, all you think about is your trash being on the street, and then the next day you bring your little trash can in. You never really think about your trash at the dump. But guess what? There's a fucking dump. Your city doesn't operate without a dump. These judges have a house. What's the point? These houses cost money. And these judges will do anything to pay for that fucking house. You guys are thinking about your case. Oh, my wife's leaving me. I'm caught up in a divorce. The judge has a house. And the judge is going to follow the rules so that the house gets paid. And so Arrington sits on the board, on the council that ensures that the judges' houses get paid. That's power. If you really want a judge to do something for you, you can make that happen if whatever you want coincides with the house being paid. If you want the judge to stick his neck out for you and risk that house, if you want the judge to go out on a limb for you and risk that house, if you want that judge to go against inertia, which might cut against him keeping that house, you're in the hole already. So we see here that Arrington serves as responsible for managing, setting, and releasing the budget for the Fulton County judges' houses. That's what the fucking money's worth, for their houses.
Wow.
All right. You want to pick it up 32 here?
Yeah, although Defendant Commissioner Arrington has these duties, he also serves as a defense attorney for criminal defendants within Fulton County. While the Defendant Commissioner Arrington serves as a defense attorney in Fulton County, he is paid by criminal defendants for their defense. From November 2020 through October of 2021, Defendant Commissioner Arrington unduly influenced the criminal proceedings of both aggravated stalking cases on behalf of Mr. Monson in the following ways.
All right, so let's stop it right here. So they're saying, listen, guys, Arrington unduly influenced the criminal proceedings. Now, this dog that is on Misha and will not let go, and I'll just be honest, guys, and I don't even want to say it like this, and this is not referring to this particular case. Sometimes you got to shoot a dog. That's just the only way that you can get this dog to stop. And Misha has been very patient with this dog, and the dog will not stop. You know, got a trespass on him, wouldn't stop. Got a TPO on him, wouldn't stop. Got him arrested for aggravating stalking once, got out of jail, wouldn't stop. Got him arrested for aggravating stalking again the following year. Guess what? He got out of jail and he wouldn't stop. He's a dog. And he's on her. And she got kids. What is she supposed to do? Right? This is why the law can be so unavailing sometimes, because if you got a dog on you, the law is only so much the law can do. And then that's the law on its best day. But what happens if you see the law on its worst day? What happens if you see the law where the dog is represented by someone who has real power? Someone who can affect the judges' houses, someone who can affect the district attorney's budget, someone who can affect the district attorney's office by allowing 4 new ADAs. If you put 4 new ADAs in office, do you know how much more smoothly things can run? They can handle so many more cases just with 4. So they're saying, so Misha's saying, man, I'm suing all you fuckers because I got a dog on me and y'all are going against me. And my life is on the line every day. Right? So these are the reasons why Misha is suing Arrington, saying that he is unduly influencing, let's say, the criminal proceedings. All right. You want to read it right here, 35?
Yes. So defendant Commissioner Arrington used his influence to broker a plea deal with then Fulton County District Attorney, Mr. Paul Howard.
All right, let me say this. Y'all don't know who Paul Howard is, and I'm not going to go through his shit. Everybody just know one word for Paul Howard: corrupt. All right, y'all go. And it shouldn't be a surprise. All this corruption down here in Atlanta. Paul Howard was the king. All right, so Paul Howard is corrupt as hell.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just leave it at that. All right, letter A.
Yeah, I think there are 3 of these. So the plea deal that Arrington negotiated with Howard was not presented to the commissioner's opposing counsel, the ADA, on the case. So they did not. So they negotiated this plea deal, Arrington and Howard, and Misha never got word of it.
Wait, what? Hold on. Let me read that. No, it's saying here that it's saying here that Paul Howard negotiated the plea deal himself and the ADA was left out of the deal.
Right.
I don't have a problem with this. You're a fucking underling, man. You're an ADA. That's just like if you're you own a company and I got some clout. And so I walk into the store and you're like, hey, nice to meet you. What service would you like? What I want to do is talk to your boss. Well, that's not, tell him Lead is here. Go back there, get your boss, tell him Lead is here, bring him out. Goes back in, gets the ball. Lead, how you doing? What's up, man? What's up? Everything good? Yeah. Give me 20 of these things for X amount. I can't do X, but I can do Y. Y? Yeah, okay. Well, I can do Y, but give me 30. All right. We can do Y. I can't give you 30. I give you 25. Do you want 25 for Y? I'll do 25 for Y. Bet. All right, great job. Write it up. And then the employee's like, well, you left me out of the negotiations. If you don't shut the fuck up, no one needed you. You're an underling. Do y'all see why this thing about, you left the ADA out? That's not other than negotiations. The ADA is the fucking employee and Paul Howard is the boss. So there's no reason that the ADA needs to be involved in the negotiations from how I see it. Now, they might have some internal policies and this and that, but internal policies go out the window when you got power. So I don't have a problem with this at all. I love this. This means nothing to me. All right. Do you want to do B?
Yeah. In pertinent part, the alleged plea deal would have allowed Monson to plead guilty to a misdemeanor, although he was charged with a violent felony.
Yeah. What power does.
Misdemeanor, felony.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Power takes felonies to misdemeanors, and power takes misdemeanors to null pros, to dismissals. That's power. And I really don't have a problem with this, because if you hire me, I'm supposed to get the best fucking result for you.
That's true.
Imagine me saying, all right, you pay me $10,000. And I'm saying, listen, well, I could get you a misdemeanor based on my relationship, but I'm not supposed to, so I'm going to get you a felony. Wouldn't you be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I could use my power, but I'm just going to abide by policy. So you pay me $10,000. I could get you 12 months in jail, but instead of 12 months in jail, I'm going to get you 3 years prison. Is that okay? No one in this chat, there's 3,500 people in here. No one's going to say that's okay. None of you would want me to get you 36 months when I can get you 11 months. So am I wrong by going in there and getting you 11 months? Think about it. Put a yes in the chat if you think I'm wrong. Put a no in the chat that if you pay me $15,000, give me my motherfucking 11 months. Put a yes if you think I'm wrong. Put a no if you think I'm not wrong. If you pay me your little 10, 15, 25 grand, I'm going to get the best job for you. Now, we see why Misha probably wants him, throw him under the jail. But me, myself, as Arrington, fuck you. I am hired to advocate for my client vigorously, aggressively. So, her little thing right here of, Arrington didn't negotiate with the employee. Fuck the employee. Arrington did a deal that would have allowed Munson to plead guilty to a felony. Well, that's not Arrington's fault. Whose fault is that? Does anybody know whose fault that is? That's Paul Howard's fault. That's not Arrington's fault. If I ask you for $100,000 and you say yes and you don't have it, that's not my fault. You should have said no. It's a negotiation. So I don't even have a problem with this. Show me something I have a problem with, because I don't have a problem with this. Number C, the reference deal contravened the district attorney's office policies. Yeah, well, who sets the policies? Does anybody know who sets the policies? Paul Howard. He's the DA. All right. So I don't have a problem with this. Sometimes policies are policies. I don't have a problem with any policy can be changed at any time. I don't have a problem with that. Specifically, the district attorney's policy was to only offer misdemeanor pleas in place of felonies under extraordinary circumstances. Let me tell you something. You are talking to a man that can get you $750,000 and 4 employees. You don't think that's extraordinary? Sounds extraordinary to me. So I don't have a problem with the policies at all. I don't give a damn about no goddamn policies. All right, do you want to do E right here?
Yes. Additionally, the district attorney's policy was to punish repeat violent criminal offenders to the full extent of the law. Furthermore, one of the district attorney's office policy goals was to lower the occurrence of DV against women in Fulton County. DV against women includes the offense of aggravated stalking. Monson has a prior criminal history, including a prior aggravated assault charge, which was subsequently reduced to a misdemeanor in a negotiated plea deal.
Yeah, so all this lady Misha's complaining about is that Arrington used his power to go against policy. I have zero problem with that. Zero. As an attorney. As a community member, if you've got a dog on you that's facing 20 years and you allow them to plead to a misdemeanor, I'll be honest, that's not good for the community. That's just not good for the community. It's not good for women. It's not good for men. It's not good for these kids. This lady has kids who he proposed to in front of. 20 years in jail to a misdemeanor? That's not good. Now, it needs to be said that just because you negotiated that doesn't mean that the judge has to go along with that, which is and this is going to get deep, guys. This is going to get deep now. Because if I'm Paul Howard, what do I think? This is chess. This is not checkers. And I'm going to explain to you the game. Paul Howard says this. This is what he's thinking. He's not saying it, but this is thinking, and this is chess. This is actually what McAfee did, Judge McAfee in the Fani case. Listen to this. Paul Howard says, okay, this lady's got a dog on her. And the dog needs to go to prison. Not 20 years, but, probably 5 at least, 10 something. 10 probably too much, at least 5. So if this were a regular case, I would give this man a plea offer of 5 years. I can't give him 5 years. Why not? Because he's represented by Arrington. Arrington controls my money. Now, if I give Arrington the 5-year plea deal, it's going to ruin my relationship with him. Why? Because this man, the stalker, is not just a paying client. The stalker is a friend. In fact, the stalker might not have paid Arrington a dime. Because I don't know if you know this, but we represent friends sometimes, friends and family, for free. So this could not even be about the money. So Arrington is like, no. So Paul Howard is like, okay, is there a way for me to save my relationship with Arrington and protect the community? How can I do it? Does anybody know? How can I save my relationship and protect the community? This is deep, guys. This is chess, and this is what no one ever sees. No one ever sees. What he does is he says, this is the thought process. He says, okay, look, this is what I'll do. I will agree basically to anything that Arrington wants. Arrington will come in and say, I want a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor? This dude has been arrested twice. This is aggravated felony all day. There's no way I give you a misdemeanor. I want a misdemeanor. He's got 2 arrests. He's facing 20 years. I want a misdemeanor. Well, fine, Mr. Arrington, you drive a hard bargain. I'll agree to your misdemeanor. Why? Because he knows that the judge has to approve it. The judge has to listen to the facts and approve it. So Arrington is like, Paul Howard is like, I'll agree to your misdemeanors because the judge isn't going to do it anyways. That way I get my money, I keep you happy, and the judge is going to save me. Because if the judge throws it out, hey, man, that's on the judge, right? You're kicking the can down the road, which is kind of what the Judge McAfee did in the Fani case, saying, hey, man, I ain't sticking, we'll let the Court of Appeals do it. We'll let Fani do it. Somebody's got to do it, but it's not me. Do you see the chess? Because what happens in a negotiated deal, guys, if I'm representing AV for an aggravated assault, I have to go in front of the judge. So here's how it is in a plea deal. In a plea deal, we negotiate the plea, and then in court, you sign the plea and you read the plea agreement. Do you understand all your rights? Do you understand what you're pleading to? Do you understand the maximum, this and that? And you present it to the judge. So me and AV are at one table or one podium, and the prosecutor is at another podium. And the judge says, okay, you guys have reached a plea deal? Yes, tell me the facts. And the prosecutor reads the facts of the case, reads the police reports, and the judge is there listening. 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, the judge is going to go along with it. Fine. You guys agreed to it. If both of y'all agreed to it, the state and the defense attorney, 2 immortal enemies. If 2 immortal enemies agreed to it, fine. It's fine. Whatever. But there's, that one case out of 10 where the judge is like, wait a minute. This man showed up to this lady's house when she got home and he was sitting on the porch. Wait a minute, prosecutor, you're saying that this man proposed to this woman in front of her kids? Hold on now, prosecutor. Are you saying that this man got a TPO against him? Wait a minute. And then after he got the TPO, he was arrested, which is aggravated stalking? And did you say, prosecutor, did I hear you correctly? After he was arrested the first time he got out, then violated the damn thing again and was arrested twice and has 2 aggravated stalking charges? And you want a misdemeanor plea? You better get the fuck out of here. I'm never accepting this. I reject this. I am not accepting it. And Paul Howard's like, woo, thank the Lord, thank the Lord. I knew you were going to save me, Judge. I knew you were going to save me. And sometimes, guys, we have to, defense attorneys, we have to meet with the prosecutor to sell the case. All right, let's keep it going here. So
Oof.
These are all of the reasons why Misha is saying that Paul Howard, or that Misha is saying that Arrington violated the policy of the district attorney's office, but I don't really give a damn about any of that. I think this is fine. I think all this is fine. All right, number 6. Do you want to pick up at number 6?
Yes, let's talk about judge tampering. So, defendant Commissioner Arrington is heard on jail calls with Mr. Monson conspiring to cause a sitting judge on the criminal case, Judge Kelly Lee Allerby, to be removed. Defendant Commissioner Arrington encouraged Monson to file a fraudulent...
Wait, stop right there. Arrington is heard on jail calls.
Yep, I have him.
Why is he heard on jail calls?
Because he was talking to Monson on the phone. And usually those things are protected by attorney-client privilege, but for some reason, one of their wives was on the phone, so privilege got destroyed. And those phone calls became public.
That's so bad. Guys, when I go to the jail, maybe that's the problem. Because there are there are 2 types of jails, guys. There are 3 types of jails. Some jails and prisons, when you go, they will put you in the damn pod. They will put you in the cell block with your client. So there will be like tables and you just sit there. Sometimes they put you in the damn pod with 30, 40 dudes. You just walk in, you got a suit on, and you're surrounded by 40 dudes in jumpsuits. Those aren't being recorded because you're talking to the dude face to face. You're smelling his soup breath and his honey bun breath. Don't ever go to see your client before 12 noon because there is no breath like an inmate morning breath. Oh, it's the worst thing you will ever smell in your life. It is the worst. So that's one type of jail or prison where they put you in a pod. A second type is where they will not put you in the pod, but they will put you in a room with plexiglass and a hole. And so you're still not on the phone, but because you're talking to the dude through the glass. Fine. That helps with the breath sometimes, but not a lot because the ventilation will push that cell block air into your attorney's room air, which is not good. The third type of prison or jail, they will give you a phone and you'll be seeing your guy through the plexiglass, but you're talking on the phone. But these calls are not recorded. These are special phones. Why? Because it's attorney-client privilege. It's making me think, but you have to go to the jail and talk on the phone.
Right.
So this is making me think that the stalker called Arrington on a regular phone.
Mm-hmm.
Arrington was at home. I have never spoken with a client on a regular phone. I don't know in my life. I don't know. I mean, not for anything substantial because I'm in my office. You're not calling me from a special phone. And those calls are recorded. And that's the last thing that I want. So somehow Arrington is heard on jail calls. These calls were recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy to me that he would allow himself to be recorded. This isn't the stalker's fault. The stalker don't really know about the law like this, but you never really want to be recorded on any type of jail call because all of your communications are protected. Should be protected anyways. All right, let's do A. So you want to start off here with A?
Yeah. So on some of the calls, Defendant Commissioner Arrington encouraged Monson to file a fraudulent complaint against Judge Kelly Lee Allerby. According to the Defendant Commissioner Arrington, Judge Allerby needed to be removed from Monson's case because it was likely she would reject the misdemeanor plea he had negotiated with Paul Howard.
This is what I was telling you.
You called it.
This is what I was telling you guys. The judge is the backstop.
Mm-hmm.
So the Paul Howard be like, man, fine, whatever you want. You negotiated good because Howard knows This judge ain't going to accept that. You're crazy. But he can't say that to Arrington because he needs the money.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay, I'm going to bend to your will, but I know that the judge won't. So even though it's my job to protect the community, I will not do it. I will not protect the community in this instance. Number one, because I need money for the office. And number two, I know the community will be protected at any rate because the judge will protect the community. I'm going to kick this to the judge and the judge is going to back me up. Playing chess, right? Interesting. All right. So says, according to Arrington, Ellerby would reject the misdemeanor plea, as the judge should, to arrest for aggravated stalking. That's crazy. All right. You want to start up here with little I?
Yeah. Commissioner Arrington states the problem is the fucking judge, in reference to Judge Ellerby. Judge Ellerby was the only problem because Commissioner Arrington admits he can get the DA to agree to a misdemeanor plea.
Yeah.
After filing a fraudulent complaint against Judge Kelly Lee Ellerby, Monson temporarily had criminal proceedings held before different judges, including Judge Adams.
Now, this is crazy to me. It is so hard to get a judge kicked off. This kind of lets me know the power of Arrington.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was a thing to just file a fraudulent complaint and get a judge kicked off, shit. 2 weeks ago, Brian Steele, who represents Young Thug, made a motion to recuse Judge Glanville. Glanville said, "Fuck you, I ain't going nowhere." And this Brian Steele guy is probably the #1 criminal defense attorney currently in Georgia. He's the #1. So you're telling me that the #1 criminal defense attorney in the state cannot get the judge kicked off, but this stalker can, like some rando stalker? Guys, listen, look here. It says he filed it himself. Monson, the stalker, filed the fraudulent complaint himself. Arrington, the attorney, didn't even do it. The attorney told the damn client to do it.
And they succeeded.
That's power. That is power. That's crazy. I mean, it is not a thing to get a judge kicked off the case because you want a different judge. Because if we could, attorneys would pay $20,000 a pop for that. $20,000. Who do I need to pay to get this judge kicked off? That's how important judges are, which is another thing you guys don't think about. You guys tend to think that, oh, well, I got court, or I got this divorce, I got this criminal case. You don't realize until you're in it how important the judge is. How is it fair if I get an easy judge and you get a hard judge? We had in the county that I practiced in a lot, they had this guy called the hammering judge. And his thing was sentencing people to execution and life sentences with no possibility of parole. He used to get a big kick. Wow. And he used to make a big show. He would have all these bailiffs in the courtroom and would give this long, magnanimous speech about protecting the community and how bad the guy was. And he'd tell them, stand up. And then he'd instruct the officers to grab the guy by the shoulders and remove him from the courtroom, just making this big spectacle. Right? He used to just love to hammer people. You know, you would be so much better with a different judge. You could have got, 15 years and this other dude's getting life. It's just not, it matters so much who your judge is. And I'll be honest, it not only matters the judge, two different types of judges, it matters even the judge on a particular day. What if the judge had a great day? A judge who's having a great day is going to give you a better sentence than a judge who's having a terrible day. There was a judge whose husband was going through cancer and it was a losing battle. And for 6 months, man, she was the worst fucking judge around. Is it her fault? No, because she's going through something catastrophic. Her longtime husband is dying. But does that influence how many years you're going to get? Absolutely. Is that fair? Her husband is dying, and now you get 6 more years in prison. Is that fair? You know, your judge got a blowjob this morning and is feeling pretty good. You ever walked into court and wonder if your judge got a blowjob this morning? Is he relaxed? Is he feeling good? Guys, a blowjob. This is what you guys don't see. There's so many levels to our system, right? So this guy, this guy amazingly got Judge Ellerby kicked off the day of case. All right, let's go to D right here.
On information and belief, Defendant Commissioner Arrington has a personal relationship with Judge Adams, the new judge. Upon information and belief, Defendant Commissioner Arrington used his influence to have ex parte meetings with Judge Adams. Prior district attorneys on Monson's case informed Misha that Judge Adams' engagement with Monson and Arrington during the hearing was unlike her typical demeanor, and she was deferential to them and allowed outbursts from them both.
So here's the thing, you know, judges, I'll tell you something about judges. They're humans. They got to have a social life too. Who do you think's in judges' social life? Attorneys. Judges are attorneys. Excuse me. We're all attorneys. We've known these. What you guys don't see, y'all think of judges and you're like, okay, they're judges. What don't you see? You don't see that they were one of us for 10 years. They were one of us for 15 years. They were one of us for 20 years.
You just went and got an LLM.
No, they went and got elected.
That's true. That's true.
Right? You don't need any special degrees to be a judge.
Oh man, that's
They're
interesting.
They're us. Fani Willis was a damn. She was in private practice. She just went and became a judge in municipal court. You don't need anything special to be a judge. So what's the thing? It's like, you know, if you're working at a company and you got your homeboy there and y'all have been working for 4 years and now he gets a promotion, now he's your boss. What's the first thing you tell him? Don't be acting brand new, nigga. Don't be acting brand new. You're my boss, but you were with me 4 years in the trenches. You know how this goes. Like, come on now. And so that's how we are too. You know, when they pluck one of us to become a judge, really which some of us cannot understand why you would want to be a judge for that low pay and all that stress. But, you know, we were telling the nastiest jokes and you were over my house. I was over your house. You were hanging with my wife. I was hanging with your wife. Diddy shit. Now you're a judge and, you know, you think you're going to act all brand new? No, sir. Like you know, don't forget. So when they say, oh, well, you know, he used his personal relationship with the judge. Hell yeah, he had a personal relationship. Right? Because Judge Adams was probably in private practice for 20 years before they got the judgeship. And it's interesting here, guys. It says so many ADAs informed Misha that the judge allowed so many outbursts and deferential treatment. What did we see in the McAfee case? There is no judge. Sorry, strike that. There is no person that could have conducted themselves in that courtroom without consequence like Fani did when she was in that damn. Who remembers how Fani was in that courtroom? Throwing her weight around, sitting on the witness stand, talking about what she need. I need this document. I need this exhibit. I need that exhibit. A judge would have not a real judge, but a regular judge talking to a regular person, been like, you don't need shit. You need to sit there and answer the questions and shut up to listen when the other attorney's talking. You're on the witness stand. This lady was allowed to conduct the damn examination.
And she kept interrupting.
Yes. That's deferential treatment. We're seeing deferential treatment in real time. And so that's what these ADAs are saying. They're like, Misha, man, because of the relationship that this judge has with Arrington and the stalker, they're wilding out in here. They are wilding out. So we're seeing all this stuff. This is interesting. And it's crazy because Fanny's being sued in this too. I know we haven't gotten are we going to get to Fanny?
Yeah, she's coming up. There's some stuff she did. There's a lot of stuff she did in this.
Okay, so like this is interesting. All right, number 7.
Yeah. So third, on the jail phone calls between Commissioner Arrington and Monson, Commissioner Arrington agrees to use his influence to get Monson a favorable outcome.
Stop. On jail calls, agrees to use his influence. Yeah, this happens, man. Whenever you, especially in smaller counties, but even in bigger ones, what did these attorneys tell you? Oh, yeah. I know Judge so-and-so. We went to law school together. He comes over my house all the time for barbecues. We go out on the boat together. It's a thing. Now, should it be a thing? No. Can you say, oh, because, this judge, likes my wife, then, I'm going to be able to get you a straight probation deal? No, you can't promise anything. There's no guarantees. But letting clients know that you have relationships with these people, that happens every single day. Every single day. So some of this stuff that Misha's complaining about, I'm not feeling it at all. At all. But some of it, though, like, Arrington working on serving as a board member and getting Fanny money while at the same time Fanny's prosecuting his client. I don't know how that's just supposed to work. Well, okay, let's go. So you want to do A?
Yeah. Commissioner Arrington states that he will use his father's influence to sway the proceedings.
Yeah, now this is crazy. But again, that's why I gave y'all some of the backstory. Arrington Sr., man, he's got power. He's older now. He really doesn't have too much power, but he was just an icon, an absolute icon. Well, he's passed away, I suppose. He passed away last year, so his power, let's say, is waning. But he definitely is a legend here in Atlanta. All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Arrington also insinuates that his position as commissioner will result in a favorable result for Mr. Monson. Awesome.
And I think when this stuff was going on, I think I saw 2020, 2021, 2022. To be fair, to be precise, Arrington was probably alive back then. He was older, into his 80s, but maybe he did have some modicum of power.
Yeah, because Fanny didn't take office until January of 21.
Okay. So Arrington is saying, hey man, I'm going to use my power as a commissioner. I'm going to use my daddy's power. My daddy is an icon here. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm going to do well for you in this case. All right, number 8.
Now enters Fanny. During the jail phone calls, defendant Commissioner Arrington admits to telling Fani Willis, who was a district attorney-elect at the time, about the case with Monson in advance of her being sworn in. The commissioner states that he wants Miss Willis to know that bitch is crazy, which is a reference to Misha. Therefore, Commissioner Arrington used his influence to bias Fanny against Misha.
I don't have a problem with this. I know Misha's like, oh, I do not have a problem with this, because at the end of the day, I'm talking to my adversary. If I was talking directly to the judge without the adversary saying, hey man, hey judge, this woman is a bitch, this victim, that's one thing. But I'm talking to my, the damn DA. If there's anybody that I should be able to talk to about this lady being a bitch, is her. Now it's crazy that he's saying that the Misha's crazy when this dude is showing up making songs out of voicemails and proposing to her in front of her kids. Who's the real crazy? But it's like, you're the DA, man. Some of these DAs are so hard. Like I really do feel like I could tell them anything because they are so hard. It's like, you can't tell, oh, this lady's crazy. I don't have a problem with that at all. You're going to pay me money and I'm supposed to represent you. I have no problem with this. All right. Number 9.
Fifth, after these same jail calls, Arrington encouraged Monson's wife.
Oh, stop the dead. What? What? He's married? They should have put this at the beginning. He's married?
He's married.
Are you see? He was proposing to this lady in front of her kids, and he got a whole wife at home. That's some Derrick Jackson shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy that he's married. Man, why? Women in the chat. Women in the chat. Yes or no? Would you stay with your husband if your husband was in love with and actively stalking another woman, proposing marriage to her in front of her children, not divorcing you? Because he needs to string you along until the other thing is locked up. So he does not want to divorce with you. Would you stay with him until she happens to say yes, then he can divorce you? Would you wait it out? This dude got a whole fucking wife. And shout out to the wife. She's still there. She ride or die. The wife ain't even divorced him after 2 aggravated stalking arrests. Somebody write great wife. Somebody write great wife in the chat. She's ride or die. She said, you can propose to another woman. You can stalk another woman. You can try to make her kids your stepkids. I took a vow, lead attorney. I took an oath. I'm going to be with you until my dying day, in sickness and in health. Oh, man. What do all men complain about these days? We can't find a ride or die. That's what all men want, baby. Let me cheat on you, baby. Let me goddamn propose to other women in front of their kids, baby. Let me turn voicemails into songs for this lady, but I still need you to stay with me. Still need you to suck me off. I did not know this man had a whole fucking... Some men ain't shit, man. Some men are not shit. God damn.